Well, hey everybody, this is Bart from the Sound Couple, and today is project day for us. And we are finally...
It's my favorite song that's playing. I gotta get to the dance floor.
This is our project right here. We are gonna stop this once and for all. Come over here, Stacy. Now, Stacy knows better than this, but so many guests at the gigs we do don't. And last year we had a big problem. What happened?
The drinks fell off the back and actually
knocked the power out.
Stopped it, well, semi-stopped her
So
show for the moment. And
so we're gonna address this once and for all. And thanks to Dan, one of our viewers, he saw that video and sent us an email with some schematics to a drink slider that's actually gonna go over the pole. And so when somebody tries to put their drink on the cabinet, there's no even surface to do so. So we're going to take you through this build. We're going to be heading out to the store here to pick up all our materials. And we are excited to see how these work out. And I think hopefully after you see this, maybe this is something that you could integrate into your gig pack. Okay, our first stop, the local hardware store. For some of the hardware pieces, it's just nice to come to a smaller place because they have the bins and you can pick through it. But we got to pick up some knobs. So we're going to see what they got. Making some good progress. We found the knobs we need. Which ones are we grabbing?
Knurled? Curled? Knurled?
Knurled.
Knob. There we
Knurled
go.
knob.
Oh boy, and I'm a reading teacher.
And then we found these T-nuts right here. So I think we're good. So we need 4 of these?
Yes. And they did 8mm.
Okay. And you'll see what these are for, but I think if we get 4 of these, we got what we need.
Yep.
Cool.
Right.
Stacy's pricing this out, and these stupid knobs, look at that, $5.29.
Specialty at its best, right?
I guess. I don't know what's so special about them, but the next thing we're looking for are hinges. I don't think they need to be very...
Super big. Nope, I think that actually looks like pretty good size, decent size.
Yeah. So how many do we need?
We need
4?
1,
$6.99.
2, 3, 4. We
Wow.
actually need 8 total because 2 on each side.
Maybe we should check out the next location to see if
Okay.
maybe they're a little bit cheaper than these. We are arriving at destination number 2 to pick up some more, well, what kind of wood are we using?
Masonite.
Masonite. And
Quarter inch masonite.
quarter-inch masonite, and we think it's going to be cheaper here. Is that the plan?
No, it's not necessary that it's cheaper, but that we'll actually be able to find the style that we need.
Got it. Isn't it always fun to try to find things in these places? So many rows and so many places to look. We are looking for... I think we're going to go with these instead. These are about half the price. So there we go. $2.98. What were the other ones? $6.99.
No, $2.38, and I think $6.99.
So the $2.38 ones we have. We found what we are looking for. Oh, this one right here, huh? So what is this? 20. So we just need 1 sheet, you think?
Yes.
Okay. And this is hardboard panel. She's not afraid. You got that by yourself, you think?
Yep. Of course you do.
Maybe I ought to... Sure about that?
I'm a honey badger.
One of the last things we need are some 1x4s or... No,
One by
the one that's sticking out.
Oh. 1 by 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
1 by 2.
1x2.
Hold on, I'm trying to get this back in. Alright, we are getting a 12-foot piece of 1 by 2, and it's $8.99 for the length of it. We need probably about 8 feet of it. You're back from the store from picking up the supplies that we needed. We picked up a 3/16 inch hardboard piece for the main part of the sliders. We picked up the 1 by 2 pine board that will be the connecting piece to hold it up. And then over here we have our hardware required to make it portable. The hinges here, and this is the
Knurled.
knobs and the T-nuts that will make it work. This here is to be able to fit right here in this part. So we'll see how that works. And then finally, we've remembered to get the black paint for it. Here's a rough draft of our measurements that we're going to use. We're going to start by cutting out the main piece and then the two sides here and then the parts that join it together. We're going to start by doing one and making sure we got all the measurements correct and then be able to make the second one from there. We're setting up our first cut. Our cabinet is 24 inches by 20 7/8 inches. And so over here, even though it's a 48-inch distance, and I could technically get 2 out of it because of the width of the blade, I'm not. So I went 24 inches this way and 20 7/8 inches this way. We made the first cut, and in planning out the second piece, this is the exact same length as the speaker, and when I put it here, it will make it tip up like that. So that angle is going to work.
So what did we cut this stuff? So you said, what did you say, 24? And how did we determine the angle on that angle there? And then
it was a little bit of trial and error. We started out, we have a 1-inch lip at the bottom, and then it was given to us that if we go 4 inches in, and then all I did is I just kind of played with the distance between this point and to the 4 inches to be able to get an angle that looked like it would be enough to...
Yeah, and the big thing is we want it to be angled enough to where if somebody looks at it, they're not even going to try to put a drink on it, because it's just going to be very apparent that it's going to go right off. So. Doesn't have to be perfect. Pretty close, huh?
Yep.
Yikes. We got one half of this done on one side. We got a little problem here. We got the screws came through a little bit, so we'll actually, Stace, maybe we ought to just leave them there, and maybe it can be an extra deterrent. Somebody puts their hand down, that'll learn them real quick, right? But we're gonna do the other side, and then we're gonna cut the 1x2s here. All right, everyone, this has kind of been our prototype slash, I think this one's gonna make it into our final design. We did have an issue with the hinges. We didn't place them right the first time, but we figured that out. So now there's not a gap here. We had a gap earlier and we fixed that. But here is kind of the gist of what we're doing here. And I think, Stace, I think this is looking really nice so far.
Mm-hmm. Well, what'd you forget to do this time, Bart?
Forgot to order feet for the subs.
Well, we were able to figure out a good plan. We bought these furniture rubber feet things, and I just measured and cut for it to be able to fit right in, because that's what's going to hold this in place. And
hold this in place.
Yes, once we get the attachment bracket on. cut and then make another mark. We're at the next step, everyone. We are assembling the bracket that is the stabilizer piece, and all it needs is to be the distance of the board, which is the 1x2. And we just go ahead, make our mark, and get ready to cut. We're gonna need 4 of these, 2 for each side. And the reason why we are not marking them all at the same time is because once you make the cut, you lose just however the width of the blade is. So it's better to cut.
You can finish.
Cut, mark. And then you know for sure all your lengths will be consistent.
So next we're assembling all the braces, and we're using some wood glue, making sure that they'll stay put, and then we'll end up putting screws in them.
The nice thing about not having to worry about our cuts is that it just needed to be the width, but what I'm actually stacking on top is that straight edge. So bottom, top. Beauty of wood glue, you can adjust later.
So once we get these going, we'll start cutting the other drink slider while these dry for a while. Got clamps.
Do you know why I'm doing this?
So I can cut through. Yep.
Yep. All right.
Looks good.
For the hinges, you want to make sure that they are flush. Do you want to check it? That it's flush with the edge, not that it's hanging over. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a gap.
All right, next thing we're gonna do is just trim the ends off the screws that were too long with the Dremel. I think what we're gonna do is just put a little, stuff's pretty old. Just put a little dab of silicone at the end of these, just to remove the sharp, or not remove, but to cover up the sharp edge of these screws. Maybe a better way of doing this, but this is our idea.
And I think it will also help keep it in place too.
Oh, that's true. Okay, we've let the glue dry here for a while. Now we're gonna put some screws in. I think we're discussing, I think just 1 per side is plenty. It doesn't need to do a whole lot as far as load bearing or anything. So we're gonna drill pilot holes first and then put the screws in.
And again, because these are 1x2s, we are using 1.5 inch screws. this.
And this is not the first bit I would use either, but...
Well, why aren't we using our good bit?
Go over it, it's on the bench. Go over and get it.
We are at this part here where we're gonna figure out where the feet placement should go. I just put our stabilizer right in where it needs to be. And all I'm doing is I'm just taking a straight edge. Actually, we'll do it this side, matching it right up and drawing a line there. And then I gotta flip to this side, again, making sure it's flush with that outer edge. And then doing that there. This side here and this side. And again, I'm always going on the outer edge. Here. There. And then I'll be able to know exactly where to place my feet. So they will just fit right in between there and no worries as to where they need to attach.
Are we gonna put a screw through them?
Yes, we are gonna put a screw through them.
Cool.
Yeah, that'll work just great. Okay, also to mention that my feet are actually wider than the base of this. So to make sure it's a consistent placement, I'm gonna pick one side and make sure that it's flush on both ends on the same side.
And we're gonna put 2 holes because we don't want these to be shifting at all.
Alright, moment of truth.
Can we try them out?
Yep. Yeah.
Is it good?
Yep, that's not going anyplace. Neither is that.
Cool. I think we found a solution.
Yep.
We're getting the brace fitted here. We got them painted now. And so how many more holes we got to drill, Stace?
1, 2, 3 in each.
Yep,
total.
we got to still figure out where this goes, but they are looking good. I'm trying to con Stacy into building a case for them. So we'll see what happens with that. Next, we're gonna put in the T-nut here, and so we have to drill a hole through here and then insert it and tap it in there. Honestly, I've never put one of these in from scratch. Hopefully we're not messing up something major here, but here goes nothing. I guess the question is I don't have to go all, I mean, we just need to go, let's see how this fits. We're kind of guessing on, might need, you're right.
Told ya. Bigger is better.
I guess the wrong size drill bit. Let's go one more. Well, it's easier to go. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. We're trying a bigger drill bit, okay? That's good enough. All right. See if this one fits. Yes. Okay, we got to go a little bit deeper here. All right.
Whoa.
Oh, and damn it. All right, well, that's what you get for painting first.
But we're there.
Are we there?
Yep.
Did that piece just chunk out? Do you think we can glue it back?
Oh, maybe.
Or should we see if we can repair that? Yeah, why don't we, I think the glue's right here.
Hey, good call.
Enough?
Yep.
Okay, now, yeah, I'm thinking we should have waited to paint, but this is our third night working on this, and I wanted to get painting on it today, otherwise that would have put everything off another day. So we'll be able to clean them up. I'm gonna just say that's good enough.
Yep, can you do it just a little bit more? Okay.
How's that look?
Good.
Okay. This one we'll try not to split.
Safety first. There we go.
Right.
Hey.
How many fingers have we almost taken out? Go ahead and you're... Oh, like a... Yeah, go on. Good. Well, that one went much better than the other one. So we live and we learn. I don't know if I went big enough yet. Oh, that's
Perfect.
good. Perfect.
Yep. Okay, let me flip.
Well, the screws fit. Ooh, this is a long ways to go. That's okay.
Oh, you mean they should have been shorter?
Yeah, I didn't think about that, but maybe we can, I don't know, maybe there's something we can do. We paid enough for these things, so I don't know. If we can cut them down too, maybe that's what we'll do. Just cut them down shorter. Okay, the moment of truth. Did we do this or not?
Okay.
I think we did.
Yep, there. Ta-da!
We got a drink slider.
One more hole to cut and we are finished.
Well, this is how it's looking now. We got another hole to cut. This is how it's looking in the back. I think we're gonna trim these down like I said earlier, but it is officially a drink slider. I don't think anybody's gonna put anything, or if they do, it's gonna go flying off the front, and too bad for them. So we gotta drill the speaker pole hole, and this one is done.
Well, things happen. We ended up cracking when we pounded it in, and actually not just once, but twice. So I think the best approach is that if we're pounding these in, this actually gets done first on a solid surface before we attach it, because I think it just needs much more stability. And to also improve that, I think what we're gonna end up doing is actually putting two together just to give some extra reinforcement in that, and hopefully it won't crack.
So we're gonna glue them, right?
Yep, we're gonna glue, pound, and then reattach.
Which means another night. Yay! This is so much fun.
It really doesn't usually go like this. We just had a lot of other things going on, so we couldn't slam it all into one day. We are on day number 3 of our drink slider build, and we are hopefully getting near the finish line. We are replacing the oops that we had. So we're gonna end up taking out this particular piece. Hopefully once we remove the screws, it should just almost fall apart. And then we're just gonna replace it with this. But before we actually attach it to this structure, we're going to learn from our mistakes, pound this one in first and then attach and see if that works.
Okay, we're ready to start assembling things again. What we did since our last build is we're made these a little bit more beefier. We're going to put in the, what are these called again?
T-nuts.
T-nuts first before we attach it to that, and that way we're hoping to not affect the integrity of the wood. And we shorten these up so we don't have to screw them in so far. And Bart's got to find center, right? And
it won't matter because you only have to go down that far.
And it cracked.
Wow. Okay, well, but at least this time.
I think there's enough around it. I wonder if I'm going too aggressive on this thing. Dang it. I mean.
Or do we drill a little bit bigger hole?
Probably. We'll try that. On this one, I'm going to be a little bit more gentler. We drilled a little bit bigger hole, so hopefully we can avoid splitting the wood. But maybe I was just being too aggressive. So just take our time. Look at that. Well, if we would have done that from the get-go, we could have maybe avoided this whole mess to begin with. Yep. I think I was getting over, yeah, no problems at all. So hopefully that's a lesson for everyone. All right, on to the next. All right, I think we have a successful drink slider. Stacy did a wonderful job measuring where the hole needed to be. That was, besides the technical issues, that was probably the most difficult piece of engineering that we had to do for this whole thing. But it's on there, it's working, and we're going to show you, or Stacy's gonna go over how she calculated where that hole should be.
So here's how I figured out where to cut the hole exactly. I know that center width-wise, it's about 10.5, and because it's 24, it's exactly 12 inches or 1 foot. Then I go to my board, make sure that the back is facing in back. Go ahead and mark my 10.5 and mark my 12. I'm pretty close. So there's my 12. My 10.5, and that gets me my center. Easier to use a regular straight edge than your floppy measuring tape. And I should make another 12 inch over here, shouldn't I? To get my reference. Now, if you're fancy and can handle doing like a nice oval shape, go for it. But if you're like us, we just did a rectangle. I next measured and knew that my diameter of my pole was about almost 2 inches.
And this varies obviously to speaker pole to speaker pole, but for us, yeah, we went a little bit over and went to about 2 inches.
2 inches. So I know that for sure my width, I'm gonna want at least 1 inch. So to give me a little bit of tolerance even, I just went 1.25 inches on one edge here, and then 1.25 inches right here. So that's gonna be the width, and again, marking a couple points so that I know exactly where to draw my line to. There. Always double measure. Yep, I was off that last time, so I'm going to use this line and this line. Oh, I think my my ruler is not very straight. There we go. Okay, and then I know it's 2 inches, or so it's that 2 inch diameter from center. So I want to go just a little bit out to have for the front. Again, this time I'll just go 1.5 inches to make sure. Now the big thing is that when this tips up, it's actually going to change where the pole lands. So I want to make sure I leave even more in the back. So again, because of it's going to go out to 2, I'm just going to go another inch. I think that's what I did before, and I can verify with my template here. And the cool thing is, once you get one done, then you can use it as your template for your second. So yes, I want a little bit wider in the back, like I said, to allow for that flex. And that's how you figure out your measurement for your center.
Okay, but can we complete it?
Really? It needs to be fully drawn out. 2, 2. I get it as 1.5. 1.5. 1.5. And there's my line there. And my line there.
All right, next up is the jigsaw to cut this out.
Yeah, so we're using a jigsaw to cut this out, but in order to use the jigsaw, we need to drill 4 holes to be able to help us maneuver it.
We got the holes drilled here, so we'll put this one together. Let me hold. Okay. Flip it over. Where's our other pole?
Right here on the ground. Put it in its little notches.
Looks good.
There. And
First time popping the chair. I won't say it.
hey,
Look at that.
I like it.
Well, hey, we are finally mostly completed with our drink sliders. This project was, I don't want to say difficult, but if we were to do it again, it would go a lot easier. There was a lot of measuring, but we got the job done. We showed you guys it wasn't always pretty, but Stacy did a great job with doing all the measuring. I did the cutting, so I think we make a pretty good team.
Yeah. So is it time to break out our drinks now?
Yeah.
But, oh, wait a minute. I won't be able to put it on because it'll slide right off.
And then Stacy didn't like the fact that I said, well, now we just have to wait for somebody to use this as a chair and watch it. I wanted to put a no seat here. She said no. I guess the good thing is we got spare material, so we can always make another one real quick if we need to. But thanks for, as always, to hanging in there, everybody. This wasn't the funnest project for us, but important, and you're going to see these at a lot of gigs. Anything else, Stace?
Yeah, just continue to give us suggestions, because obviously this came from somebody's suggestion, and continue to like and subscribe. Thanks so much.
Yep. All right. See you later.